The masculinity content would tell you that a strong man doesn't need anybody. He's self-sufficient, he's dominant, he leads from the top, he doesn't compromise, he doesn't bend, he definitely doesn't admit weakness. In relationships, especially marriage or a transaction, you bring your value, she brings hers. You maintain frame, you maintain dominance, you never let your guard down. And if you've been married for longer than 5 minutes, you already know how ridiculous that sounds in practice. But here's the glitch. A lot of men are trying to run that program inside their marriages, and it's costing them the one relationship that could actually make them better men if they let it. I've been married 25 years, and I want to tell you what that actually teaches you. Not the Instagram version, not the red pill version, the real version from a man who's been weak, who's hung on by a thread, who's made mistakes and told the truth about them and had to ask for forgiveness more than once. The program tells you that weakness is the enemy, that a real man is always strong, always certain, always in control. But 25 years taught me something different. I've been weak. There were seasons where I was hanging on by a thread in my marriage, in myself, in my faith, in the whole thing. And here's what I know now that I didn't know then. Hanging on when you're weak isn't weakness. What kind of man you are shows up in the hard seasons. Anyone can stay when it's easy. What kind of man you are shows up in the hard seasons. And the hard seasons will come. That's not pessimism. That's just the truth about anything worth keeping. The program also tells you to dominate, to lead from a position of authority and control. But here's what 25 years actually taught me about leadership in a marriage. Your wife has a perspective you don't have. Full stop. She sees things you miss. She reads situations differently. She carries information about your family, your kids, your relationships that you don't have access to if you're too busy maintaining dominance to listen. I learned to listen to my wife, not because I was weak, because I was smart enough to realize that operating as a unit is more powerful than operating as a hierarchy. We're a team. And a team where one person ignores half the intelligence available to them isn't a strong team. It's just a loud one. The program tells you to manage your image, keep things looking right, project strength, even when you're struggling. But 25 years taught me that truth always comes out anyway. So you might as well tell it early. Be transparent, be honest, not brutal, honest, because marriage built on performance is just two people performing at each other. And eventually the performance gets exhausting, and what's underneath it either holds or it doesn't. Keep people out of your business, not because you're hiding anything, because your marriage is yours. The moment you start letting other people's opinions into your most intimate relationship, you've handed away something you can't easily get back. And this one nobody tells you. You're not going to feel in love all the time. Feelings pass, angry ones, romantic ones, all of them. The man selling you passion and chemistry and peak experiences as a measure of a relationship, or selling you something with an expiration date. Real marriage isn't a feeling, it's a choice you keep making. And some days that choice requires humility, patience, forgiveness, and grace in amounts you didn't know you had. That's not weakness, that's a man doing the actual work. Here's what 25 years actually builds in a man if he lets. The ability to keep his word even when tempted to do otherwise. Believe me, temptations are gonna come hard. The knowledge that he can survive hard seasons and come out on the other side, the humility to know he doesn't have all the answers and the wisdom to turn to the person next to him, the capacity for forgiveness, not just toward his wife, but toward himself. None of that shows up in the alpha male content. None of that gets you followers or status or the approval of men who measure everything in dominance and dollars. But here's what it gets you. Are you ready? A real life. A woman who actually knows who you really are and chose to stay anyway. Kids who watch their father show up and keep his word over decades. And a grandchild who exists because something healed. The program would tell you that's ordinary, that you should want more, that settling for a quiet, faithful life means you didn't reach your potential. But I want you to consider something. What if the quiet, faithful life is actually the harder thing? What if staying, listening, forgiving, showing up without an audience? What if that's where the real strength lives? Because here's what I know after 25 years. The men performing dominance online are still trying to prove something. I'm not. And there's a freedom in that no amount of optimization ever gave me. Marriage is hard and it's fun and it'll humble you and it'll make you better if you let it. But only if you show up to it as a real man, not a program running a script about what a man is supposed to look like. That's what 25 years actually teaches you. This is the Wrong Fit Project. I'll see you in the next one.